15 plus years ago, we came across the Cyclone rake and never turned around since then. And it's amazing when you have all those leaves down, you drive over it and you turn around and you see a fresh line of grass. It's awesome to have that.
Here in our continuing Connecticut tour of Cyclone Rake owners, and super appreciative to spend a little time with Diana and Bryan, who have been around the Cyclone Rake for kind of a long time. And as you'll see as we go through some of the chat here, this is a beautiful property, and we're always really lucky to visit great places, and this one is truly spectacular, and I'm sure you'll see some views of the lake in the background. So we're out here having conversations and trying to learn a little bit more about how folks come to wind up with the Cyclone Rake and how it's helping. That's the first question. How did the Cyclone Rake wind up being part of the fall season?
After, 10, 20 years living here and doing leaves every weekend of 2 days, filling it up on a 3 days.
Every night, all the time.
Filling it up on a tarp.
I remember one time before we had the cyclone, there were so many leaves that you could only blow the leaves maybe about 20 feet with lines, and then you have to get a tarp and rake everything onto a tarp and then take everything away and then continue down the property. In the front, in the back, and the side, it would take days upon days upon days to do this.
Some days were fun days, we ended up having a golf cart. We'd load up the leaves on the tarp on the back of the golf cart, bring them back, dump them, and get nice rides on the golf cart, on the tarp, and have some fun there. But yeah, it was a lot of work every weekend, and it was kind of like, all right, we got to find out a solution that, will save us time and is efficient and will do good work. So 15 plus years ago, we came across the Cyclone rake and never turned around since then. And it's been, an hour to 2 hours instead of 20 plus hours,
Right.
A lot of work. So it really does consolidate time. It makes the lawn, it's amazing when you have all those leaves down, you drive over it and you turn around and you see a fresh line of grass.
Clear.
It's awesome to have that.
What was the path that before you got to the Cyclone Rake? So was it always tarps and blowers, or was it manual raking?
I mean, I think you guys probably paid for somebody to come a couple times, and then expenses of having somebody do that is unrealistic to maintain after a point. So yeah, I mean,
I think somebody did
some
come
rakes
for a while, but then we would try to get the leaves in an area to make it easier for them.
I have 3 kids now. We moved out, but we still need to take care of Mom a little bit. Come over, Mom, make us dinner and for the kids, and I get to go sit on the tractor and have 2 hours of free time. So yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. So it's nice to get out there, and it's a distraction from life, and it's it's a little bit of work, but it's fun.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, we're absolutely gonna frame the "I don't hate it" quote there. That's perfect.
I've actually even done it.
Yeah.
I've done it also.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't dumped it, but I've done it, and then he's dumped it for me.
Sure. You've got a Cyclone Rake Z10, and that's been here for some period of time. It sounds like your path to the Cyclone Rake actually started with a neighbor. Is that how it happened?
So we became really close with our neighbor, and we were deciding to purchase a couple things together. They purchased a lawnmower, and we're like, oh, we could use a lawnmower. So they purchased some of the blowers and all this stuff. So we always kind of shared, in a sense, to save some money and be practical. But yeah, I think we purchased the Commander back in 2010. We upgraded to the Z10. We got the bigger package because, I mean, I think I was doing 20 plus loads, I want to say, in our lawn a day, and now this is almost cut it in half, I want to say. So it's been the big improvement. Noticed a good improvement in suction and all that, but even the Commander, you turn around and screen. So I think every product's right for a different solution, and yeah, I think it's...
And I drove it up and down the hill. I remember the first time I was like frightened, thinking, can I really do this? And I did it.
Yeah.
No
problem. It's one of the nice things, especially with the dual pin hitch, which is what the Cyclone Rake is kind of known for. Going up, backing up is like doable, like we can all do it. And if you're driving a single pin hitch, if you drive a tractor trailer all day, like you're very comfortable backing up and used to how that works. But for a lot of us, we're not that good at that, and this solves that problem. One of the things we're really from day one of the company that we've always prided ourselves on is whether you live around the corner or you live across the country, it's we've built it so it's self-service, right?
Yeah.
If a part breaks, you're able to deal with it.
Which is funny too, because initially we were like, where is this company? You know, I had no idea where they bought it from. I had no idea anything, and I started looking up, and I'm like, they're right down the road, and I need this part today.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, I'm just gonna drive over there and see what happens. And we went over there, and you guys were like, you know, wait 20 minutes, and we'll get you the part.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, that was the same day thing, and that's how I kind of live a lot. I need this now, and I need it now. So you know, it's great that we have you guys here, and I assume it's the same shipping it out is a couple days, just like all these other companies getting you things tomorrow. So
a long time ago we made the decision, and it's obviously the right decision. If so much happens during a short period of time like it does in the fall season, folks can't wait for we'll ship that out in a week. We maintain a 1 to 2 day shipping cycle, and it's important because folks know, like, when the leaves are coming down, it's a little less of an issue in this part of the country, but we have lots of customers in northern Minnesota or Wisconsin where, like, snow is a real thing in October, right? You got to get the stuff done. So it's something that we really pride ourselves on is good customer service and making sure that everything's available. And that goes from your unit, which is new, relatively new, to all the way back to the first units that were made. In this area, you've got a lot of mature trees and a lot of obstacles, honestly, to go around. Did you like the Commander better? Is this one, like, just from a maneuverability perspective?
you know, I think adding the 2 wheels on this one, and is it on the Commander now?
They're available.
They're
for the
available
Commander
too, yeah. So I think adding that was a big benefit. I think even with the tractor, sometimes the weight of the load, I shouldn't be pushing it to the max, but I'm like, I could get a little bit more in or something like that. So, you know, that has the challenges here and there of just like, okay, I should dump it maybe a little sooner here and there, and I usually do. I think they were both great. I don't think either of them really, you know, it's more just a capacity thing, I think.
Stops,
yeah,
right?
I'd say fewer stops.
Honestly, what most people do is exactly what you said, which is, I can make one more pass around and the thing is already full. And the good news is it's built for the abuse. And we're proud of that. We don't recommend the abuse, but we know after 27 years of doing this, folks are going to push the limits. And when when there's snow in the forecast and I got to get this stuff up, you're going to do what you're going to do what you're going to do. So we want candidly, I think it's over-engineered, but it's over-engineered for all the right reasons. We're in the fall season. It's like a vintage New England fall day, kind of overcast. I think there's rain in the forecast tomorrow. It would be nice if all we ever had to do was pick up nice dry leaves, but that's not the case, right? So I'm sure after all these years, you've had experience with wet leaves, dry leaves, this leaves, that leaves. Like, how's it worked?
The dry days, I get a lot of dust.
Yes.
And you know, that could be an issue. I'm wearing a mask, this and all that, which I would recommend because you get out of there and you're dirty.
Yes.
But you know, those are those dry days. The cars get a little dirty outside. The house gets a little dirty, stuff like that. So, but there's a big benefit. Your leaves are picked up in an hour.
Yeah.
So the wet days, you know, the weight load gets a lot bigger quicker. So instead of doing a full load, I'm doing more so half loads, and I could, you know, you feel it when you're driving how much weight's on there.
Yes.
So you kind of know when you got to dump it. But you know, when it's wet too, you get a little bit more. It all comes out of the dump load a lot more, but sometimes you get that little residue coming in of the leaves. And then I guess another thing I've seen maybe more when it's wet, I would maybe get a couple more clogs of something coming in there with the stick getting stuck in something, and then something gets clogged, so I gotta, you know, take off the hose and shake it out real quick. But you know, it works great under both conditions though. Even in the wet, it's sucking up almost harder because it's heavier stuff that it's able to suck up, I want to say. So yeah, both conditions it's great under. Again, you know, wet, the ground can be a little softer, so you got to be careful with the weight loads, and the 2 wheels again made a big difference on that. They would dig in with 1, 2. They're riding nice.
Yeah, we've and I've had personal experience on this. Sometimes when I used to use it in the spring and the summer too, and if the grass gets high and it's within a day or two of some rain, I was always stunned at how heavy the oh, hello Jackson. I was always stunned at how heavy the bag would be when I'd go to dump.
Yeah,
and
grass is heavy.
very, very heavy. So most of the time, if they're really wet leaves, obviously, like you say, you're going to know as you're driving just how full you can go before just the weight is too much.
It's the hose that could get clunked up with that. It's just wet gook, so it's like that makes it a little harder to clean. So yeah, dry conditions are going to be better and less inconvenience, but you got to do what you got to do under conditions.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share some Cyclone Rake stories. It's maybe we won't win an Academy Award here for Best Picture, but it's valuable to all folks who are thinking about it. And
It's life-changing.
well, thank you so much.
Time is so important.
Yes.
Nobody has enough time to do anything.
Well, Diana and I are of a certain age, and we're going to sit here and tell you to a certainty. However, whatever your age is, it's the time that matters. And we're, as a part of the company, I'm super, super happy to think that the Cyclone Rake is well built and well constructed and well supported. But I'm with you. Like, at the end of the day, we want to spend our time doing things that are meaningful. And cleaning up leaves is important. I'm not going to put it in the meaningful category, right? There are better things we can do with our
Unless you want a couple hours off.
Thank you. Yeah. He's wise beyond his years, Diana. You've done well. I just want to say here, no, that's absolutely true. And a little bit of me time is fine, even if it's collecting leaves. So thank you both so much for being customers and for being willing to chat with us. It's super helpful and appreciated.
Absolutely, and thanks for the product.
Yeah, thank you, Diana. Thank you so much.